All right, let's talk general collapse. Let's have a live stream about it. I haven't done it in a while. I know I don't schedule these. I just kind of start talking and show up. But I think the financials in this country are screwy, and we need to start to talk about them. I think inflation is really starting to get rolling, and we need to start talking about it. I think all of the problems are really starting to come to bear financially, and we need to start talking about them. What do I mean? Well, let's look at today's financials. What happened today? Dow Jones down 400 or so. Nasdaq down a buck 50. Gas up to $85. That was up a couple bucks, buck or so. Gold almost $2,300. What else? I mean, what else do you want to know? Let's see. Silver. I love silver, and let me tell you why. Silver is probably the most necessary industrial metal we have, one of them at least. All kinds of stuff. It's really important to dentistry. It's important to solar. It's important to a lot of different things. But just magically, it always stays in a suppressed level. The gold to silver ratio, I think traditionally, historically, is somewhere between 20 and 50. As it stands right now, it's at like 98 to 1. So where it used to be 20 to 1 to 50 to 1, it is now at 97, 98 to 1. I mean, that is it doesn't even like bend economic rules. It totally breaks them to the point where, I mean, I don't know about you folks. I just feel everything that I see on TV, on, everything that passes in front of me, I think is fake. I mean that. Everything that passes in front of me, I think, is false. It's erroneous. It's fabricated. Everything. I don't think we have anything that is of basic integrity in this world, in this country anymore. I'm looking at all these things they're talking about the elections. They get the predicted, and they got all the Rasmussen comes out and says Joe is magically um, gone up, and now he's overtaken Trump and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, does anybody? I mean, where is this happening at? I don't know. Maybe being in a blue state and a red portion of a blue state, I'm missing it. But general talk. If you talk to anyone out there, what's the first thing that they say? What's the first thing that you talk about? Cordial, polite. I've never really talked to you before. Company. You mark my words. That 9 times out of 10, it goes to something about how expensive it is. So I'm online, and there's a post on Facebook. I rarely go to Facebook. I go every once in a while. We've been getting some stuff through Marketplace, right? To get our home some extra stuff. We need a rug. We need some things, right? Well, I'm not going to go pay for it at a store because the stores are just astronomical. So you go to Facebook, you go to Craigslist. So we've been getting stuff on Facebook, and someone said, "Hey, we're looking for a good renovator," and went in there and gave some advice. And then another post down, it says, "Hey, we're looking for a place to live. What's it like there?" And most people start to complain, and I go in and I start to speak positively. And I'm like, "Hey, it's pretty cost effective here, yada yada yada." But from there, it is literally a series of people going and saying, "Oh my gosh, rent has gone up by X amount. I used to pay this for a 2 bedroom. Now this won't even get you a 1 bedroom. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And people, I mean, what are you talking to people about? Everybody talks about how astronomical prices are becoming. I was talking to a subscriber in the background, and we're talking about stuff. I'm saying, hey, I'm in class, and I'm talking to the students, and I start to talk to them about how much everything is gone up in price, and how when they get out into the real world, or when they move on to their next level, they're going to have a lot of things to contend with, a lot of problems. It's going to be tough to find affordable housing. It's going to be a tough to have cheap energy. It's going to be tough to keep food in your fridge and not break the bank every week with how much you're spending. We're doing this right now. I mean, honestly, the only reason why my wife and I are able to keep at the level we are is because we started to crack open into our preps. Some of them are getting long in the tooth, and we thought, okay, well, let's crack open. By the way, yams, canned yams, you take them, you wash them, and you put them in the air fryer, and you crisp them up. Absolutely fantastic. We had that tonight with some tacos. Anyway, I digress. Everything is so expensive now. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. I was telling them, I said, in 2019, 2020, before Rona happened, I would go into Aldi and you could get a 12 pack of eggs for 79 cents. Okay. And great. $2.29 at our local Aldi. You guys hopefully saw the picture of my wife and her sourdough. We're starting to bake our own bread, because we're like everybody. We're like, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to start to save money or continue to save money or break even, whatever it is you want to do? And, so we're coming up with all the ideas. We don't go and eat out all the time. In fact, we rarely eat out. We make our own food. We're trying to get into making our own recipes and stuff. And it is impossible to stay as a family of five. I've got five, right? Three kids, wife and I. Absolutely impossible to stay at $100 a week anymore with the groceries. We used to do it. Used to do it fine. Now, of course, we try to buy organic. We try to buy, healthy stuff. We try to have, lots of protein and vegetables and fruits, and keep it, because we're trying to raise healthy children and build good habits and all that. And I mean, it is absolutely nuts. I was talking to my parents, who, they're your typical baby boomers that were brought up on all the processed foods and the convenience and the microwave dinners and yada yada yada. And they've really made a concerted effort to try to just eat fruits and vegetables and to cut out everything processed, right? And God bless them for doing it. And they're like, well, we used to come when they moved. They live a few hours away from us. They said we moved here, we would spend about 60, $75 a week on our food. Okay, two people, elderly. They don't eat. They don't gorge themselves, but still, they eat. And they say now it's about $1.20 for the two of them. So you're talking, $500 a month when it used to be 300, and that's everybody. And so when you looking at all this stuff and the disjointed, and the problem I think I have with all this is that, like, I think we're starting to see the really first little tinges of hyperinflation. I really do. I remember in May of 2022 when Grandma Yellen came out and said, uh, we're going to have some inflation, but it's going to be transitory. I mean, we are rounding the bend on year two of this with no alleviation in sight. And I remember sitting there at that time and saying, and you can go back, if I don't know, I probably took the videos down. I've taken a lot of videos down here for multiple reasons. Hyped up inflation is what I used to say. We're gonna have hyped up inflation. And now I'm really starting to think that we are getting to that Weimar Republic area of things where hyperinflation is going to start to become something that we might have to contend with. And it's already happening in certain areas. People think, oh, well, it's not. No, if you look at Turkey was, slapping themselves on the butt because they kept their inflation down to 50% or something, but it's still 50 to 150%. And we're talking like month over month. Argentina, same thing. Malaya is doing everything he can, but still, it's pretty cheeky down there when it comes to the inflation. And this is everywhere. So now you see what's going on here. I mean, do you remember the last time? I mean, gold, I remember when gold got to 1900, I was like, whoa, this is getting up there. And now in the last couple months, it's gone literally from 1900 to 2300. It was $2,299 or something like that today. And there's good old silver just sitting there at 26 bucks. I'm silver. I don't ever go anywhere, right, JP Morgan? Right? Yeah. So, I'm not telling you to go out and buy anything, but I know what the historical gold to silver ratio used to be. And I don't know. I'm putting it in right now. Gold, silver. Of course. Oh, there it is. They always, you gotta hide stuff. Gold to silver ratio historically. Let's take a look. It used to be that you had a gold ounce, and that was enough to buy you a suit, enough to buy you that kind of thing. And now, so now you're talking $2,300 for a fine suit. Gold silver ratio has fluctuated between 10 and 15, though the ratio was as low as 2.5 in ancient Egypt. Since ancient Rome, miners have unearthed about 8 ounces of silver for every ounce of gold on an annual basis. Okay. And what is it right now? It is literally 2,300 to 2,650. Now, I'm not a mathematician. I don't specialize in math, MAFF, but I can tell you this. $26 compared to $2,300 doesn't really represent well. Just saying. So I don't know what to do. I mean, you see this going on, and like it just gets a little bit worse every month or so. Just a little bit, like, just get a little shaved off last month. Oh, this month it's a little bit tougher. And you can tell on the home prices too. The home prices have just gone absolutely crazy. There's no reason why they should be where they are. They should have been. There should have been a crash. I mean, really. And I don't even think that's going to happen at this point. I think that they've literally taken the money system, and now it is so urinated into that there's just nothing is going to stop it. It's going to start slowly, as they say in economics, at first slowly, and then all of a sudden, the dam is going to break, and it's going to really, really get going. So, yeah, Michelle the Great says frustrating it is. Filled oil gas cans, $500. Okay, let's talk to Northern Girl here. First of all, love to see you. All right, you special place in my heart, NGH. You know that, and I know you're busy, and it's not easy for you to come here. But you read what you read about things up in the Great White North. It was great to see Rage in the Cage the other day too. We were, what was I listening to? I was listening to something today, and they said, I've got, I think it was Tim Pool or something, how he was really worried about Canada. And I mean, you think it's bad here. It's what, 370, I think right now, 375 for a gallon of gas. That would translate to in Canada to $7.10 right now, if I'm remembering, because on April 1st, they had all of these new taxes going, all of these new carbon things. That's going to come here. Everything that happens elsewhere will eventually come here. Carbon taxes start going into stuff, and they start really wreaking havoc with how much you pay at the pump. That's going on right now in Canada. And I heard that they were going to do a scoring system, if you will, on people if you complain and it's going to go through the banks up there. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Little street cred, if you will, but via the banks with a number next to your name, basically saying, "Hey, this person, well, they're a little lower. They tend to complain a little much, like me. I would probably, I mean, my credit is actually really good, but if you probably put the socials in there, um, I bet you money it would be much less because the prepper now doth protest too much. I was going to call this "Let's Fight" this live stream. I really was, but I thought, now we'll just do General Collapse. It was inspired by Black Scout Survival. I've been watching a lot of him lately. He's been doing good work. I thought he was in California. He's a Carolina boy. So, but he was talking about how we this isn't the time to relent. This is the time to really kind of put it out there and start to push back and complain and call things out for what they will. And you know what? I agree. I agree. So, um, that's where we're at right now. And I sit and I see what's going on up in Canada, and I'm like, well, how do you when you're up there, how do you stop that? How do you protest? I mean, you saw what they did with the truckers, and now it's on steroids because now what's happened is the people in charge are paranoid. The Canadians doth protest too much too, and now it's time for them to really kind of stop that. And again, this is going to come here. So we're at pivotal points, I guess, is what's going on. This is a pivotal point right now. This is not just in America. It's not just in Canada. It's everywhere. Um, I think right now you've got April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So you've got roughly 8 months. Okay. And that's when I think the party's really going to get started. That's why my wife and I are kind of going through our stuff right now. I think they're going to be able to stave off all of the problems until November. And I think when November happens, it's not going to go the way people want. And at that point, all HE double hockey sticks is really going to break loose. And also, I think to just add a little fun, I think a lot of the financials at that point are going to start to break. We are putting on a lot of debt load to our, to the debt itself. We just put on $169 billion in 20 days. $169 billion in 20 days. That translates to about $1 trillion every 100 days. And that's where we are at. The debt per citizen right now is $102,902. Debt per taxpayer, the people that pay taxes, $266,000 and change. Federal spending, 6,508,684,000,000 and change. And the budget deficit is $1.8 trillion per year right now. So in 1980, U.S. federal debt to GDP ratio was 34.5. 2000, it was 58.49. And in 24 years, we are now at 122.21%. So the only way you get out of debt, folks, is at this point is to inflate your way out of it. This is a prevailing theme. This is something, in education, I have to teach economics on a rudimentary basis, basic stuff. If I'm teaching the students about basic mechanics of economics, I'm not going to go in and do Adam Smith. I'm going to go in and talk shoes, gym shoes. I'm going to talk about Steph Curry's compared to the Walmart specials. Why? Because the students get that. They understand it. And now that's what's going on here. I mean, we are getting to a point. I'm getting we're getting to a point where it's going to take off. I think that's my biggest concern. Watching this as a pretty prudent and knowledgeable guy as it pertains to finance. I'm not a economics major. I'm not a I can't sit there and cite economic theory, but I know the fundamentals of this stuff enough so that we've turned it into good decision making with my family. I wanted to put the $100,000 edition on, and we put the $25,000 edition office, which now is cool because now I have PrepperNow Studios, so kind of awesome there. But anyway, why am I doing it right now? Because, well, first of all, my wife needs an office, and she was in PrepperNow Studios, which is effectively the Clawfus, as she called it, which is a closet office. But she needed it, and then we also have 3 kids and 3 bedrooms, so we were just to the point where we needed a bedroom too. And so, why now? Well, first of all, I don't think they're going to be lending money in a year. I don't think the banks will be capitalized enough to do so. Second of all, I don't think that I think that putting money into a physical object right now, which would be my home, is probably about as wise of a decision as I can do. So I don't know. You see all this going around. That's why we're learning to, we've always been able to make bread, but now we're not doing it for fun on a weekend as like a family project. Now it's becoming our bread for the week, whenever, and we're getting ready. The bug out farm is being changed, and she is downsizing and moving to a smaller farm. So because she's getting ready to retire, and she wants to do it so she's financially independent. The moves she's making are smart, but the preps have to come. They go away. So the good news is we've got the room now, which is another reason for creating a little extra space. And now the preps are coming over here, and we've got them, and they're in a good way. And thank God that we went in and bought this stuff in 2020, 2021, and because now we're tapping into it. I mean, you want to talk about a great time to consistently make your bread. You want to talk about a great time to find out that you put twice as much rice away. I bought and bought and bought, and I had no real clue what I had gotten. I knew what it looked like from a bird's eye view of our preps. It was a full room, right? But now we're breaking into stuff, and I'm opening up canisters, and I'm looking in, and we're starting to move. And I mean, I put away probably 750 pounds of rice. I thought it was like 350, like, 750 pounders. So good news is that they were all frozen and done properly. I was actually explaining it. For those that don't know, if you get a 50-pound bag of rice, you take it, you put it into a freezer, you let it stay there for bare minimum 72 hours, preferably a week, and it kills off any creepy crawlies that are in there, and then you can take it. You put it in a cool, dry space, and it should be generally pretty good for at least 5 to 10 years if you did it right. And so we've really trained our kids to eat rice, which is good because it's real simple. Plus, I lived with a chef guy back in my 20s, and he taught me how to cook real simple, easy rice. And basically, you get your pan boiling water, 2 cups water. When it's boiling, you take 1 cup, you throw the cup into the rice, you put the lid on it, you turn the thing off, and you come back in 10 minutes, and you literally have perfect rice. So if you've ever done that, or you're wondering how you can make as unobtrusive rice as possible, that's how you do it. But anyway, all of these things, are like what more and more people are going to have to get into. You look at some of the younger generations, you look at these services, you look at this, like Uber and Uber Eats and Chowhound and the others I can't name, the DoorDash, stuff like that. Have you bought any of these things? Like, we priced it one time. This was probably 6, 8 months ago. I forget what it was or what. I think we're in a sports ball tournament. We said we priced it. So let's just, we'll get DoorDash, right? And it is literally like for 2 meals, $40. And that's if it like gets to your door with any modicum of heat left into the thing, and probably the guy was eating your fries anyway, that kind of thing. Who has money for that? Like I mean, seriously. I get it if you're, well, we've ordered. I think the last thing we ordered was about a month ago. We picked up some Indian food. My wife loves Indian food. She roomed in college with Indians, and so uh, Pakistani and Indian, and she really loved and learned how to not just eat the food but cook it. But she really likes it. She likes chicken tikka masala and um, that kind of stuff. So we order it, and I mean, it was 2 meals was, gosh, I think $32 for like 2 chicken tikka masalas. Like, who has that money? I could take that $32 and get like a big old thing of potatoes and some rice, and then like some form of meat, preferably chicken, not from Tyson, and some vegetables and fruits, and take that 32 bucks and make it so we're able to eat for 3 or 4 days. Used to be able to eat. I remember I used to be able to take $30 and I could literally go the week on it. In fact, I remember when $20 would do it. I would go out and get a 12 pack of eggs. I would get like a thing of American cheese. I would get a thing of ground beef, and I would get like a loaf of wheat bread and then a thing of potatoes. And from there, like I could make all kinds of different combinations with stuff. Like those days are gone. I remember the potatoes used to be like $4, ground beef was like 2, the eggs were like $1, um, and get other stuff. And then at that point, I had to be good. I was drinking at that time, so you got to have your you're broke, and you're living on your own, and you've only got a very limited amount of funds because you're the POS 9000. You got to get your liquor on. Yeah. Anyway, back in the day. So, but yeah, this is a time where people are going to really have to get their skills together. We have a nice garden, and we finally got it. We did pretty good work last year, but we have never. I've always gotten starts. We have uh, students that there's farming programs and stuff, and we've always gone and gotten starts. Not because we're lazy, just because we wanted it done right and support other businesses and that kind of stuff. And this year we're doing it. We're germinating the whole thing. We got the seed trays and all that, and we're going to do it on our own. We're going to, we'll probably fail. So, but this is the year to do it. We've gotten to that point where, the gardening's got to really kind of be upped and good. And, I mean, and people socking food away is a great skill. It's a good thing to do, but people are going to have to be able to do things that might challenge them a little bit. Gardening is going to become something I think that people are going to really get back into if they're not already, because of all of the inflation. You see all this stuff going on around you. I mean, is it just me? Am I, like the only one noticing this? Are you guys seeing this? I feel like you all are. Winning streak. It's good to see you. You've been missed. I I don't know. I by the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes, like it said in the video the other day. I mean, it's just major problems all around. And I think the financial sector is really starting to show us that. I think the gold price especially, is really starting to show us that. I think crude oil, all the other stuff going on with the financials. I mean, I was talking to my parents too, and I told my dad, I was like, Dad, you got to at least, because they still keep playing with the freaking stock market, And I told him, I said, you're gonna get bit in the ASS, dude. I was like, this thing can't go on. You're noticing gold going up exponentially. for a reason. And I was trying to tell them, I was putting them different gold miners, because they're your traditional boomers. They want to see it on a stock portfolio, and they can sit there and listen to the talking SHIT heads from CNBC and sit there and talk up, oh, Nvidia is doing this, oh, and all that kind of yay. I was like, man, you got to get into some gold miners. You gotta take it, because that's they understand. They don't want physical gold. They don't want it in the safe. They don't want to own it. They want it on some computer screen with a piece of paper. And yes, it'll probably bite them in the butt. I've tried. I saved their butts in March 2020. I'll tell you that much. Thank God they listened then. I screamed. I said, get out. Get out now. And they did. Saved them a lot of money, but it went back down to 15,000 back in the days. That's the other thing. I mean, you think about the stock market is going to keep going up, because again, the only way out of this is to inflate. It's the only way out. Inflate, inflate, inflate. It is true through history. You look at Romans. What do the Romans do? Romans freaking, started by taking and debasing their coins and their metals and stuff. And then all of a sudden there's freaking wood centers in the the coins themselves. All of that is coming here. It is. It's already here. I was telling the students, why do you think we're going through this right now? It's because 2020, some brainiac decided to close down the world and say, you know what, turn the printing machines on and flood the market, flood everything with as many dollars and everything as possible. And, shut the world down, see what happens. And now we're reaping the benefits, if you want to call them that. I really wouldn't call it that either. Tracy K's talking about crypto. I mean, Larry Fink, do what he does, man, because he'll tell you he owns the world. If he's saying, do the crypto thing, you know what? Not a bad guy to follow. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. I just know how evil the world is. So, I don't know. I don't know, folks. I see these financials. I was, watching some of my doomer financial channels, and they're going through the stuff. I'm watching Jeremiah Babe. I'm watching Manarino. I'm watching what's his name? Steve Van Meter. If you've never seen him, he's great too. Uh, I mean, what's going on? I don't know. It's all. I love that as well, savagely. Man, that's another thing. That's another thing. They're talking about like ammunition. What's going to happen with that? You want to talk about another metal to invest in? When things start to pop off with the war, and I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to be a time when all that really starts to get going. When things start to pop off with the war, I'm telling you, ammunition is going to be tough to come by. So, if you're not into buying that kind of stuff, I would say, yeah, do it. So, we got a lot of problems, folks. It's going to get real interesting here real soon. I don't know. It's yeah, I agree. Tracy, get the ammo now, and you can worry about the boomsticks later. So, uh, $12 to $16 a bale. Is that a bale of hay, Lisa? Are you talking about it? Well, WV Farmer's Daughter's got to go. Yeah, if you get the stuff, you got to practice with it too. It's makes a great paperweight. But yeah, we gotta. That's why we like living out where we do now. We can actually go plink, and it's no big deal. So all neighbors were doing it. So, best prep is the GTFO of the cities. Yeah, savagely. I really would be concerned if I were living in a major area city right now. I would be. I'm glad we did what we did a few years ago and came out here to the country. We were sold something on Craigslist today, and they came out and they said, "What do you got?" I said, "Well, we got a pig and some chickens, and they're from the DC area," and they just kind of laughed and quasi scoffed at it. And I'm sitting there looking at them, and nice people or whatever. But I'm like, man, you have no clue. Like you have no clue what's coming. You're gonna look and laugh at that pig over there as he's quote unquote living high on the hog, end quote. But there's gonna be a time, man, when things really get nasty. Seeing the crime right now out there. What's up, South Texas Prepper? Good to see you, brother. Porker now, man, he's doing fine. He's doing well. He's living his best life out back, y'all. I'm telling you. But anyway, I mean, you see the crime going on and all this stuff. They're trying to make it sound like that's why I put that video up the other day. That one got hit hard, by the way. You can tell. I can tell when we're over the target. Um, you can tell they're really in the cities trying to make it seem like everything is just hunky dory and come on down and we're gonna have a fest over this weekend, and you see all this kind of stuff, and you just like, no, thank you, no, thank you. I don't want to get parking tickets and 32 and a 25 speeding tickets and everything else. We went to Lancaster a few weeks ago, just see friends, and we're downtown, and you got to pay to park, and it's time you just sit there and you're like, yeah, I don't carry quarters anymore in the car. And I'm like, well, great. I park, and there's about an hour and a half left before the meter people left, and thankfully it didn't do anything, but we didn't get a ticket. But we got one in the mail the other day. Yeah, great state of Maryland said, hey, your wife was late to practice with your daughter, and here's $40. Man, it's never ends. Oh, and then the other thing was she got a note. She called in and said, hey, we're looking into this investigation with the money that they basically no notice, just said, hey, we see you got a refund here, and you owe us money. We won't explain it to you. We won't write you. We won't tell you about it, even though you've been there for years. We're not going to tell you anything about this, but we're taking your tax return. So she wrote them and said, what's going on with this? I need an investigation. And so she called to follow up. It's been about a month, and they said, oh, we haven't received anything. You kidding, man? Oh my gosh. So we had to try to print up more. I printed up 5. I said, keep sending these out every 5 days until someone gives you a call. Just pester the hell out of them. That's all you can do nowadays, all this stuff. So yeah, speed cameras, man. That's what's gonna happen with all this. We're just gonna get nickel and dime to death. You know what I mean? That's the problem I have. There's going to be no tax returns, which you shouldn't be paying taxes anyway. I get that. I get that. But, uh, I don't know. Well, maybe we shouldn't pay our taxes. Maybe that's where we're getting to. But yeah, I just feel like we're going to get nickeled and dimed on every level. Everything is going to be, taxes more, this, more speeding tickets, more, licensure fees. My wife's got to get licensed so she can do what she does every year or so. I got to get, renew my license and stuff for being an educator. We got to pay all these things. They got to go and do the tagging and stuff on the vehicles and get inspections and everything else. It's like, my God, how much more can these people freaking think of for us to do? You know? So, yeah, actually, Northern Girl, that's what we're doing. We're selling. We've purged a lot of stuff. We're selling all kinds of stuff. I took all my dead tech. I'm selling all my dead phones. We have dead computers and phones, and there's good parts in them. And so I'm selling them all. You're only getting $30-$40 for them, but you sell 4 or 5 of them, it adds up. Yeah, that's all you can do. It's all you can do. All right, STP says, South Texas Prepper. I also think that they will start to break their own laws more blatantly while we still will be made to follow the law. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. They will continue. That's the other thing. It's like they said in Animal Farm. Some animals more equal than others. That's going to happen. You know, we're already seeing it. I don't even want to talk about our new neighbors. I'm not even going to go there tonight. But you know, they're just people that are afforded things that we are not afforded. You know, they can do whatever they want. They can get away with whatever they want. If we try to do that, no way, Jose. It's not going to happen. You know, we'll get in trouble. That's what's coming. It is what it is. Luke Thompson, I'm on the cusp of that. I got a lot of extra musical equipment. I've got a full deal. I've got full public address system. I got a freaking drum set. I got guitar amps, everything else. And you know, I play music, but everybody's got their own stuff, so they don't need it. So I'm kind of, should I sell this stuff right now? You know, like my drum set. I don't play the drums personally, but I could get $400-500 for it. You know, do I do that? I don't know. So I don't know, folks. I don't know. Yeah, keep selling stuff. Yeah. From double standards to different standards to indifferent standards. That was awesome. Unique approach. That's a good one, brother. I'm going to use that again, even if you're talking about me. Who was that? Who said that's all? When Porganile starts walking on his hind legs, beware. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, all right, I won't sell the music stuff. I haven't brought myself to do it yet. Honestly, what I want to do with the winning streak is I want to give it to my kids. Trying to get them into music. Daughters are really into drawing, really good at art, and I want to get them into playing musical instruments and stuff. So we got the whole thing. I got a beautiful Satriani guitar, Ibanez. I got a nice Fender amp. I got Yamaha drum set. I got a full-on SoundTech public address system with 15s, 12s, and full monitors, all the wiring, all the mics, all everything. So, you know, I've accumulated it over the years. I love it. Love having it. So that's the other good news, man. Thank God. The music is starting to become a real good side gig. So I'm happy about that because it's good for me. It keeps me on my feet, moving and grooving. It's great to sing. It's healthy, and make a little coin doing it too. So yeah, it's uh, it's rough. It's rough, folks. Well, I said I was going to do 30 minutes, and then I just started talking to y'all. And I don't know what was is Pinball going live right now? Who is it? Someone's going live right now. I can tell. 8 o'clock hour. You know, people started tapping out. So, uh, whoever it is, go to them. Go over to them. See see the other prepper channels. I got nothing but love. Yeah, we're in a precarious state. I guess if there's one general theme I would like to talk about is that I think the financials folks are really getting to a place, a point that you're going to start to see the first tinges of real hyperinflation. At that point, you're going to want to do everything you can to take that money you make and turn it into physical items. I could be wrong, you know. Maybe they'll get it together. Maybe there's going to be a Fed meeting and a rate hike, and everything starts going, and somehow they magically get the inflation's gone. But I'm glad you're still here there, savagely. Pinball's up. Okay, cool, good. Go see Pinball. He's good. But yeah, I think we're going to start to really see it. I think it's going to start to happen. I think you're going to start to see the hyperinflation's coming and all that, and you know, yeah. Gene, thanks for posting that. Actually, it's website day. I got to re-up today, so hit the links while you can. Hit them in the background. Go to the subscribe star. Go to the locals. Go to the Substack. Go to all the other ones. Go to Gab. Gab like wants you to pay now, so I can post words and stuff, but I don't know. Truth and X and Minds, I'm still on, so go there. But yeah, folks, I appreciate you being here. Go check old Pinball out. I'm sure he's got some great stuff to say. Nothing but love there. And please get prepped. I think the hyperinflations is coming. I think the economic issues are coming, and I think we just got bad things on the horizon for us, and so we better get our butts in gear and get ready for it because it's going to get rough. So, but you're going to handle it. You know why? Because you're a prepper. Okay. God bless. We'll see y'all on the next one. PrepperNow out.